Surveillance photos from the French military show Wagner Group mercenaries burying bodies in the African nation of Mali. The Russian private army, known for its atrocities in Ukraine and designated a Transnational Criminal Organization by the U.S. government, has taken its dirty work to Africa, where it's offered its services to a number of governments, expanding Kremlin influence on the continent. Yevgeny Prigozhin's Wagner Group is deployed across several African nations, and officials say where Wagner goes, trouble usually follows. The Wagner Group is in Mali, Chad, Libya, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Sudan, Zimbabwe, Madagascar, and may be moving into Burkino Faso. Wagner offers African leaders a range of services, from disinformation warfare against political opponents to armed protection against insurgencies, to training for their armies, all tying those African leaders closer to Moscow. South African expert Pauline Bax tracks Wagner operations for International Crisis Group.
Wagner is a network of companies. Basically, it's not one single company, and most of these companies are all fall under Yevgeny Prigozhin. They provide private security to the people in power. They take over private businesses or they establish private businesses, and these are often in natural resource extraction, such as mining or logging, for example.
To get around sanctions, Wagner Group takes payment in the form of timber, precious metals, gold, and diamonds. The UN believes Wagner was involved in the massacre of more than 500 people in Mali last year. It's also suspected of committing atrocities in the Central African Republic.
It's basically an organized crime syndicate that is operating on behest of the Russian government.
Retired FBI Special Agent Eric Karen is a security consultant for several African nations.
They're essentially Russia's KGB, operating throughout Africa, committing crimes, committing murder, and stealing resources from precious diamonds and gold and minerals throughout Africa in exchange for security.
U.S. officials also accuse Wagner of using Mali as a base to funnel weapons from Turkey to the Russian military fighting in Ukraine. It's also accused of fueling the war in Sudan by providing advanced weapons systems in a conflict that has displaced an estimated 1 million people.
We are asking external forces to leave Sudan alone.
The problem is that Wagner goes where it's invited.
It's not that Wagner just comes in and rolls into a country and does whatever it wants. It does this with the approval and often the blessing of the ruling elites.
And while Wagner profits, it increases the Kremlin's footprint throughout the continent, pushing the U.S. and Western nations out. Karen says the White House should have paid attention sooner, before the Wagner Group established itself as a major player and a major problem in Africa. Hurd, CBN News.